so welcome to another lookbook video. So I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I'm just going to see my boyfriend. So I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer, and then I used the Kajal lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And then for my eyeshadow today, I just combined my two Star Wars ColourPop palettes because I felt like using these today. I only used like one shade from this and then like one on the inner corners, so like, and I used 3 shades from this palette just because I where oh, I'm pissed off. Are you kidding me? That literally just completely fell out of the pan. Okay, well, I'm just going to tell you guys which shades I used because I can't hold up the palette now because I'm going to have to repress that shadow, but I saved most of it. So I just used like the neutral row from the palette, and I just used just like Tatooine. What the hell is it called? I can't even read these fucking names half the time. Just like a Tatooine, I think, in the crease. And then for the shade that I used in this palette, God, everything's a mess. I used Loyalty, just this shade, to define the crease a little bit, and that's the only shade I used from it. And then I just used New Hope on the inner corners. I'm not going to hold this up again just to say one shade, so that's all I used from this palette. Because I have used this palette fully this year. And then for the outer corners, I went in with Droid Protocol from the Child palette again. And then for the lid, I used that shade that fell out of the pan, which was the Force. So now I'm going to have to repress it later. So I'm just going to close it and put it in the bathroom so I can press it later. That was really annoying. And then for my waterline, I just went in with the LA Girl liner in the shade Brown. And then for my mascara, I just went into the ColourPop lengthening mascara on the top and bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Do It spray and the Rare Beauty illuminating primer. I forgot what I used for a second. And then for my tinted moisturizer, I just went into the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer in the shade Fair 1N. And then for my concealer, I went into the Maybelline Dark Circle Eraser in the shade 9.5. And then I set my under eyes with the House Labs powder, and then I set my face with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And then for my bronzer, I went into my old House Labs duo. Again, I rave about this bronzer and highlight duo because I think that these were fantastic, and this highlighter is so beautiful. So I went in with the bronzer Savannah to bronze up my face. And then for my blush, I went into like one of my old tried and trues. I went to the shade Madly. You know how old this is when the top doesn't even properly go on, but this is like the only blush I've ever hit pan on. So it was my favorite blush for a long time, and I also tried to use it to do a project pan, but I don't do project pans anymore. But I'm just so happy that I literally just hit pan on one blush because I thought it would literally be impossible for me. I've hit pan on more bronzers and highlighters than I have blushes. So and then for the highlight, I went into the coinciding highlight in here, which is Sun, and it's just so beautiful. I absolutely love it. And then I set my face with the Do It spray again, and then I set my brows with the ColourPop Brow Blush Gel. And then for my lips, I actually went into a discontinued lippy from ColourPop. This is still my all-time favorite nude. So I just went in with What's Your Sign from the Zodiac collection from Kathleen Lights, and I can never get rid of this lipstick because I love it so much. It's still my favorite nude shade ever. I wish they would bring this back because it's just so good. So that's everything that I used for my face. For my makeup. And then as far as a reading update goes, I already finished This Spells Love last night. I finished it completely. I was like 80 pages in by the time I got home from work. I read like 15 pages on my break because I didn't really get to read that much, and then I just finished the book last night. So I read like 200 pages last night, or like 240 pages, just because like after I had dinner with my family when I got home, I just went in my room and read for like most of the night. I took a break like halfway through the book, because I was on page like 190 to watch like an episode of Desperate Housewives. And then I took a bath and read, and then I just read the rest of it when I got back into bed. I only had like 100 pages left, and I just finished that last night. So, and I loved it. It was such a cute book. Definitely 5 out of 5 stars. It was adorable. So now I started the next book on my TBR. After I finished ACOTAR and I read a little romance, I wanted to really read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I just started this last night. So I'm on page 88 right now. I read like almost 80 pages today because, yeah, like 80 pages almost because I only read like 10 pages last night because it was like late and I just wanted to start it last night. So I just read like the first chapter, but today I read like 80 pages. And I am hooked. This book is so good. I literally don't want to stop reading it, but I'd rather just stay home and read this today. It is, I cannot believe how sucked into books I am right now. Like, it's just crazy. Like, who knew that was going to start this huge obsession for me? But this book is fantastic so far. I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to read more when I get home tonight. So yeah, that is it for now. I'm hoping to be at least around like page 150 by tonight, but we'll see how far I get. I mean, this one might take me like 3 days to finish, but I'm planning to finish this by Wednesday. It's Monday right now, so I think I'll finish it within like the next 2 days. So yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna go. Bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I just got home from work. I'm a little tired. I think tomorrow's kind of up in the air. I'm not sure if I'm seeing my boyfriend because he actually caught my cold that I had, and I feel like my cold came back a little bit, but like my throat's not hurting. It's just like I can't get rid of like this runny, stuffy nose. And I started to feel better on Saturday, and then for some reason, like, it went back to like a stuffy nose again. I don't really get it. So yeah, so anyway, I wore like this cropped plaid shirt to work today, and I love this one. It's so cute. I didn't get any compliments today, but honestly, it's fine because I love this little plaid shirt. So I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the Kajal lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Urban Decay pressed powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette today, I went into the Odin's Eye Red Dragon Judy palette. Just because, like, I kind of wanted to use this again since their collab just came out, and also, like, wanted to see if I still love this palette, and I kind of wanted to make this week kind of like a throwback week a little bit of, like, some palettes that I haven't used in a while, and I still love this palette. I love the quality of it. It's just so good. So I went in with Serene in the crease, then I darkened up the crease more with Yin, this shade right here, and then I went in with Fire on the outer corners, and then for the lid I went in with the shade Luna, which is like my favorite from the palette. It's just such a beautiful multi-chrome. It's still my favorite shade. And then I went in with Overheat on the inner corners, and that's everything I used from the palette. And then for my brow bone, I was thinking about using the Hudson Valley palette today from Nomad, but then I just ended up using the brow bone highlight, which is Ghost Town. So I just used that just because it was in front of me, but I might use that soon, like next week or something. I just felt like using Odin's Eye over Nomad today, but I do want to use more Nomad soon as well. And then for my waterline, I don't even know where it is. Oh, here it is. Is this the liner I used? No, it is not. Here it is. I went into ColourPop's gel liner in the shade Joyride on my waterline. And then for my, oh my god, my mascara and everything. What did I use for mascara? Oh yeah, I remember. Where is it? I went in with the Essence Lash Primer, and then I went into the Lancome Hypnose Mascara on the top lashes, and then the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Do It Spray and my e.l.f. Putty Primer, because somehow the top of the e.l.f. primer somehow came off. I need to find it. I don't even know why it's not, like, with... It's actually, like, right here. I think this is it. Yeah. I don't know how it came off. I'm going to have to, like, put it back on somehow, but it is what it is. At least it's not an expensive primer. And then I went in with the Glossier foundation. This is the Stretch Fluid foundation in the shade Very Light, because I was wearing, like, lighter foundations last week since, like, my nose was all irritated from blowing my nose so much. But then, like, I haven't been blowing it as much, so it hasn't become, like, red and irritated again, but, so that's why I wanted to wear a heavier foundation today, but my nose is still very runny, so I don't know what's going on. And then for my concealer, I went into the Tarte C concealer. I just wanted to go into my tried and true. This one's in the shade 8S Porcelain Sand. This is the Hydroflex concealer, and then I went in with the Pat McGrath Labs powder to set my under eyes, and then I went in with the Urban Decay pressed powder on my face to set my face. And then for my bronzer, I just went into my House Labs bronzer again. I've been using this one a ton lately. I've just been on a kick with this, so I went into the Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer in the shade Light Level 1. And then for my blush, I went into a blush I haven't used in a while, and that's the Benefit blush in the shade Butterfly. Say that 3 times fast. Benefit blush and Butterfly. And it's just such a pretty, like, orange blush. I just wanted to use it because I wanted to use something orangey today. And then for my highlight, I love this highlighter formula. This is the Kaleidos Space Age highlighter in the shade Diamond Dasher. It's so stunning, and it's still super sparkly. I love it. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lips, I went into the MAC. I went into ColourPop's Minute Man for my lip liner, and then for my lipstick, I went into the MAC matte lipstick in the shade Kind of Sexy. I was trying to find another lippy to use, but I couldn't find anything that I really wanted to wear that was like this tone of peach. So I just went into this one. And that's everything I used makeup-wise. And my mom gave me her Kindle. And I discovered a lot of books on here last night that I can read for free now. So, but I also, I don't know if I said this last night when I came home. No, I didn't. I said my makeup look before I went to my boyfriend's house. So I brought The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo to my boyfriend's house because I was intending on reading it whenever he, like, fell asleep, because he usually does when we hang out. Not until, like, 8 or 9 o'clock at night when he gets tired. But I left it at his house accidentally, so I just downloaded it on Kindle, and I actually had downloaded the Kindle app. I bought it on Amazon, like the book, and then I downloaded it to the Kindle app so I could read it on there, because I actually didn't have the Kindle yet. And then I asked my mom if I could just have her Kindle, because she really doesn't use it. And since I'm the only one that's reading heavily right now, she gave me her Kindle. And I'm so excited, because guess what? I finished the book. I finished Seven Husbands at work. Because, usually, like, after, like, the last 2 hours, we're, like, by ourselves. But look, it says red because I finished it. And I could not stop reading this book. And honestly, I feel like it's faster reading books on a Kindle. But also, now I have all of these books for free on my Kindle. The only book that I had to pay for was Seven Husbands, and which is a little bit annoying because that's the only one that I have the physical copy of. But all these other books that I want to read, I don't have to buy these now. I don't have to buy the physical copy. They're all on Kindle Unlimited for free. So I want to read the entire Curse of the Wolf King series, and that's like 5 books, so I can read that all on the Kindle. And then there's this other, like, I also bought the Filthy Rich Vampire book, the first one, but now I can read the other 3 on my Kindle, and I don't have to buy the other 3 books. And then there's also, like, this Greek mythology series that I want to read. That's a fantasy series. All 4 books are free on Kindle. And also the is free, which I also want to read, and I can't believe that book is free. And then I also have The Humans by Matt Haig, which you guys know how much I love Matt Haig's books. That book is free on Kindle. So I'm so excited. And also some of Lucy's Scores books are free, like Things We Never Got Over and Things We Hide from the Light. I'm a little bit nervous about these books because I've heard very mixed reviews about the second book. But I heard the first book is amazing. So I'm so thrilled. And also Divine Rivals is free on here, even though I have the physical book. But once I start reading Divine Rivals, then I'm just going to bring the Kindle with me to work so I can read it while I'm at work while I'm reading Divine Rivals, like the physical copy. So I'm just so excited. For some reason, only the first one is free though, not the second one, which is fine because then I'll just bring the physical copy with me to work. But I was just so happy that I finished it. So now I'm going to move on to Yellowface. This book is not that long. I think it's only like 300 pages. And yeah, I'm super excited to read this because this was on my TBR for February. But I can't believe I finished 3 books in the past 4 days. I finished A Court of Silver Flames, then I finished The Spell's Love, and then I just finished The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. But that book was fantastic. 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it so much. I could not put it down. It was so amazing. I'm like, I need to know what happens to Evelyn Hugo. Like, from beginning to end, that book is 100,000% worth the hype. It is a fantastic novel. I loved it so much. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys, I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. So I just went to my boyfriend's house. I'm actually filming this clip like way later than that actual day that I went to my boyfriend's house. But here we are. I just left the stuff out to show you guys. So I primed my eyes with the Anastasia the ColourPop eye primer, and then I used the Kaja lip oil, and then I set my eyes with my ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder, and then I actually went into my ColourPop Winnie the Pooh palette, the Sweet as Can Be one, because I was like, you know what, I kind of want to use a ColourPop palette, and I hadn't used this one in a hot second, and this palette is just so adorable. I love it. So I went in with Think, Think, Think in the crease, then I darkened up the crease more with Smackaroo, and then I used Best Friends on the outer corners, and then I went in with Make Believe all over the lid. And then I just went in with Brighter Days from Blend Bunny on the brow bone from the Forget Me Not palette. And then for the inner corners, I went into the shade Oh Bother. So it's just such a good palette, such a good pigmented palette. And the packaging I'm absolutely obsessed with this palette because it's just so good. And then for my waterline, I just went into the LA Girl liner in the shade Brown. And then for my mascara, I just went into my ColourPop Lengthening Mascara on the top and bottom lashes. Like, nothing new. I don't really have to show you guys those again because you've seen it like a million times. And then I primed my face with the Do It Spray and the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. And then for my foundation and concealer, I went into the Cali Ray Tinted Moisturizer in the shade The One. And then I went into the Maybelline Dark Circle Eraser in the shade 9.5, and then I set my under eyes with my House Labs powder, and then I set my face with my ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And then for my bronzer, I believe I went into Here Kitty Kitty by what is this called again? Private Party, I believe. Yeah, this bronzer from ColourPop. And then for my blush, I don't know where it is. Oh, wait. Did I go into that? No, I didn't. I think I went into NARS's Madly. I think I just used that. I don't really remember, and I don't really care, honestly. And then for my highlight, I went into the ColourPop Winnie the Pooh highlighter. I freaking love these highlighters. They're so good, and the packaging is so adorable. Like, this collection was just so good. And this is the shade Silly Old Bear. It's just a beautiful, like, light gold. And then I set my face with the Do It Spray, and then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lips, I went into my Winnie the Pooh lip oil. Just this one right here. I still have it in my purse. And this one's the shade, the ColourPop Luxe Lip Oil in the shade Wildflower Honey, if I could speak. And I'm not going to give you guys a reading update in this video because I believe I was still reading better than the movies that day. I can't actually remember, but I'll insert the clip when it needs to be because you won't even know that. So, yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. So I am wearing glasses because I'm slowly running out of contacts. So usually I end up wearing glasses a couple of days. So here we are. So I primed my eyes with the ColourPop Party Proof Primer, and then I used the Kajal Lip Oil, and then I set my eyes with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Powder. Pretty Fresh Powder, can I speak? I'm just going to see my boyfriend today. And then for my eyeshadow palette, I used the Ansley Ring Cosmetics Cold Moon palette. Because I just really wanted to use it today, and I did like the cool tone look again. I've been wanting to do that look for a while because I wanted to wear just this easy cheetah print leopard whatever sweater. So I went in with Cold Moon in the crease, then I darkened up the crease more with Rebirth, and then I used Mother's Night on the outer corners, and then for the lid I went into the one I can't even pronounce, so I'm just gonna point to it. It has it's like calic, oh my god, so many bits get around the pan because some of these shades are flaky, but they're so pretty. So this is Calicantazaros. I don't know how to say it. And then I went in with Mauja on the brow bone, and then I just went into Wolf Moon on the inner corners. And that's everything that I used from the palette. Super pretty. I also really want their new palette, so I am going to pick that up when it comes out, because it's like their first very matte heavy palette, because this one, since I picked up this one, and this one had more mattes than any of the palettes they came out with, the new palette that they're coming out with has 14 mattes and 7 shimmers, and I'm like, I'm sold. I also want to like combine like some of the mattes from the Cold Moon palette with that palette, so I feel like they're going to make like great companion palettes, and since I'm so obsessed with this formula, it just makes sense. So I want to get their new palette as well, and I haven't gotten a new palette. Like this month I will have not gotten one new palette, so I think I'm ready for a new one. And then for my waterline, I went into the Galactic Beauty liner in the shade Eyeliner Gray, and then I went in with the ColourPop Level Up Mascara on the top and bottom lashes, and then I primed my face with the Do It Spray and the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. And then for my foundation and concealer, I went into the Tower 28 Sunny Days Broad Spectrum SPF 30. I think this is pretty much done. I'm going to declutter this. So I finally finished a tinted moisturizer. I'm so excited about that. This took me so long to finish, but I absolutely love this. Like, but I need to finish up some of my other tinted moisturizers before I even think about getting a new one. But I love this product, but I'm glad it's done. And then I went into my Tower 28 concealer as well in the shade BH. But yeah, there's like barely anything left in here, so it's time to call it quits. And then I set my under eyes with the House Labs powder, and then I set my face with ColourPop Pretty Fresh powder. And then for my bronzer, I went into the ColourPop bronzer in the shade Private Party. Why do I almost drop everything? It's an old bronzer from ColourPop, but it's one of my favorites still. And then for my blush, I went into NARS's Lovejoy just because I just wanted an easy nudish blush. And then I went into the Blend Bunny Cosmetics palette in the shade Memories. Went into the shade Memories for my highlighter. I mean, it's like a really nice silver highlight, so I just went in with that because I haven't used it in a little while, so I just wanted to use it. And then I set my face with the Do It Spray, and then I set my brows with the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel. And then for my lips, I went into the Bite Beauty lipstick in the shade Honeycomb. You can't even get this anymore because Bite Beauty doesn't really sell at Sephora anymore, so I wanted to go in with that. Also, I finished Yellow Face this afternoon. I got I think I read almost 200 pages yesterday. I went from page 58 to page 245, so I got a lot of it read yesterday. I wanted to finish it yesterday, but I was kind of getting tired around, because I got into the 240s around 1:30, and then I kind of was getting sleepy, so I just decided to watch Desperate Housewives. So I finished it this afternoon because I only had 70 pages left, so I was I'll just finish it today. So it only took me not even, it wasn't really 2 days. I started it on Tuesday night and I finished it Thursday afternoon. So that's kind of like really fast. So I'm finishing books pretty quickly. I absolutely loved it. It was so good. I understand why this book is so popular and why it was voted the best fiction book of 2023 on Goodreads. Because it was great. So I'm so happy I decided to read that. Because it was fantastic. Now I moved on to another romance novel, but I really, really wanted to read my first Lynn Painter book. Did I say but? Where are my words today? My first Lynn Painter book, so I moved on to Better Than the Movies, and this is like her #1 best-selling book. So it's a New York Times bestseller, and I'm already thinking that it's so cute. I only got into the first 20 pages because I already read 70 pages today of Yellowface, but I'm definitely going to read more of this later. So I'm very excited for that. It's super cute so far. I'm like so into it already. And yeah, that's it. And then I'm going to move on to some fantasy books because I actually picked up 4 books at Target yesterday. I picked up Powerless, Throne of the Fallen, and then I also picked up 2 witchy kind of rom-com books. It's called A Witch's Guide to Dating a Demon, and then I also got The Demon's Guide to Wooing a Witch, I think it's called. They're supposed to be really cute books. I've been eyeing them for forever at Target. I actually went last night to Target and picked up those. And then I'm going to go back to Target tonight, though, because it's just so easy to go on the way home. And I'm going to return 4 books because they're all on Goodreads. I mean, they're all on my Kindle for free. So I'm going to return the 7 Deadly Sins series, and I'm going to return the Filthy Rich Vampire first book because those are all available, like the whole series are available for free on Kindle, and I'd rather buy books that aren't available on Kindle in the hardcover and return the ones that I can read for free because that saves me money. So, and I've been enjoying reading on my Kindle so much that it just makes more sense. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Hey there guys, I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. I just got home from work. I don't know why my eye is bothering me. Sometimes we got eye goo in there, so forgive me, bothering the crap out of me. So anyway, I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the Kajal lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Urban Decay pressed powder. And then for my eyeshadow today, I went into the Nomad New Zealand Stargazing palette again because I wanted to use it today because I really wanted to go back into the blue shade. I wanted to give this shade another chance to see how it would wear. And it did wear a lot better today. So I don't know what happened the first time I wore this. It just like was such a mess. But I can say the black transferred a lot underneath my eyes today. But the blue, the lid shade stayed on the whole time. So that's good. So I went in with Queenstown Skyline in the crease because I just wanted something that was like a light peachy shade. And then I darkened up the crease more with Takapo Stargazing. And then for the outer corners, I went into Dark Sky Nation. And this did transfer quite a bit, but it's okay. Like, wasn't a big deal. And then for my lid, I went into Milky Way. Like I said, I wanted to use the blue. And then for my inner corners, I just went into Manganic Clouds. And that's everything that I used from the palette today. So I just used those 5 shades. And it was really pretty. So I think I've used like 3 of these shades again. I think I've used this shade, and this shade again. I might have used this shade again too. So yeah, it's not really like a huge deal when I use this palette again, but I just wanted to do that blue look one more time. So it is a good palette. It's not my favorite from Nomad, as you guys know, but I do like it. I don't regret purchasing it. I think it's a good palette, but I think that their quality has been a little bit inconsistent over the past few palettes for me. Like ever since the Royal Europe palette, like I kind of measure everything up to that palette. And the Hudson Valley palette's incredible quality. It's just like not my favorite color story from them. I wish that they had more shimmers in that palette. But this is not about every single Nomad palette. And then for my waterline, I went into ColourPop's gel liner in the shade Prance. And then for my mascara, I just went into my NARS Climax mascara and then the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then for my face, I primed my face with the Do It spray and the e.l.f. putty primer again, because for some reason I still haven't fixed the cap on the other primer still. And then for my foundation, I went into the Makeup Forever HD Skin Undetectable Stay True Foundation in the shade 1RO2. And then for my concealer, I went into the LYS Triple Fix Full Coverage Brightening Concealer in the shade LG3. And then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs powder. And then I set my face with the Urban Decay Pressed Powder. Your girl is tired, y'all. And then for my bronzer, I went into the Gucci bronzer in the shade 01. Just because I hadn't used it in a little while. And then for my blush, I just went into one of my tried and trues because I didn't really lay out my makeup today. I just picked out the shirt I wanted to wear and didn't lay out any makeup. I knew I wanted to use the Nomad palette, but that was about it. So for my blush, I just went into one of my go-tos, which is the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Powder Blush in the shade Creamy Peach. I love this blush, so I just wanted to use it today. And then for my highlighter, I went into the Blend Bunny Noctilucent palette. Again, a go-to because I just didn't really have time to pick out something. So I just went into Apparition, which is a really beautiful, like, bluish, whitish multi-chrome. Just, this never lets me down, so that's why I just go into it constantly. And I also hadn't used it in a little while, so I was like, I was just going to use it today. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lips, I went in with the ColourPop Minute Man Lip Liner. And then for my lipstick, I actually left it at work. And I don't remember the exact shade name of this. I don't even know if NARS actually sells these anymore. NARS Air. Oh, they do. Cool. So it's the NARS Air Matte Lipstick. I don't know if they still have that shade. It might be Surrender. If I don't know what shade it is, I will update you guys when I actually get it, because I don't have it on me. I don't think it's Surrender. I'm not really sure, but that's what I wore on my lips. Sue me. And then as far as a reading update goes, I'm on page 282 of Better Than the Movies. I think I said yesterday that I started this book. I don't know if I said I started it like yesterday afternoon. I got like 120 something pages read yesterday. And then today I got very far in the book. So I think I'm going to finish it tonight because I only have 58 pages left. So I'm a maniac, but honestly, like, this book is so cute. I'm loving it. I think it's adorable. And I just wanted to get at least one Lynn Painter book read this month. And I'm so glad that this was my first Lynn Painter book because it's so adorable. I'm having a great time. But after I finish this, I don't really want to read romance for a little while because, I don't know, I'm just not really that into romance right now. Even though I still love romance books, I'm really, really craving some fantasy or some dark fantasy again. Like, I know I took a break and I was like, I'm going to read other books. But now I'm like, I just want to go back into fantasy. And I have some really good fantasy series that I'm so excited to read. I just ordered the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I just got Powerless, and I also got the Kingdom of the Wicked series that I still haven't read yet. So I'm super excited to read all three of those. But the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, I'm definitely going to read in March. So excited. I'm going to read Divine Rivals as soon as I finish Better Than the Movies and Ruthless Vows, because those are the two that are still on my TBR for February. But once I finish those two, we're going to go right into some fantasy. So yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait. There might be 2 other books that I read before the fantasy books. I know Divine Rivals is fantasy basically, so I might get a little fix with that. And then I want to read 2 standalones before I get into some of the fantasy books, but I'm very, very excited. I have some fun reads for March. I can't wait. So yeah, that's it. But I don't think I'm going to read any romance for like the first couple of weeks of March because I'm like, nah, I'm not really feeling it right now. But I will get back into some romance like mid-March or something. I'm just not really feeling it. So yeah, that's it. Bye. So hey there, guys. I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. So I'm going to my friend's apartment so we can have a game night with my brother and his best friend. We've been hanging out a lot, but we were planning to do this for a while, so we're gonna do it tonight. I'm about to leave, but I wanted to do a purple look today because I've been wanting to do a purple look for a while, so I finally just did it. So I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer, and then I used the Kaja lip oil, and then I set my eyes with the Urban Decay pressed powder. And then for my eyeshadow palette today, I wanted to go into the Nomad Verona palette because I just wanted to use the purples in here, and it's actually a standalone look for me. I didn't have to go into any other palette to do this, so I went into Dagger in the crease, then I darkened up the crease more with dark, and then I used Death on the outer corners. Like, if people ask, like, what black did you use? I'll be like, oh, it's called Death. Like, they'd be like, why is it called Death? I'd be like, because it's a Romeo and Juliet palette, and then it'd be like, oh, no, we get it. Now, like, all you would have to say is, oh, I used a palette that's themed by Romeo and Juliet. So, I feel like Nomad kind of, like, dodged a bullet with that. I just think it's so funny. And then for my lid, I went in with the shade Tragedy, which is a stunning purpley shimmer. And then for the brow bone, I went in with Tomb, and it's just such a good brow bone highlight. You think it'll be too dark, but it actually like blends into my skin beautifully. And then for my inner corners, I went in with Moors, which is just such a pretty gold. And that's everything I used for the eyeshadow. And then for my liner, I went into the eyeliner gray by Galactic again, and then I just went into my Essence lash primer, and then I used the Tarte Tartelette tubing mascara on the top lashes, and then the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Do It spray and the e.l.f. putty primer, and then right, is that what it's called? Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. And then for my foundation, I went into my Lancome foundation because I hadn't used this in a while, and I just love how this foundation makes my skin look, so I had to use it today, and it just looks so good. I'm just, like, annoyed by the way I blended my blush, so I don't know why. Sometimes it just sticks out like a sore thumb, but whatever. It's not like anybody's going to care. So I went into my Lancome Taint Idol Ultra Wear Foundation in the shade 120N, and then for my concealer, I went into my Urban Decay Quickie Concealer again in the shade 10NN. And then I set my under eyes with a Pat McGrath Labs powder. And then I set my face with the Urban Decay powder. And then for my bronzer, I went into the Pat McGrath bronzer in the shade Naked Desire. Just because I hadn't used it in a little while, so I wanted to use it today. And then for my blush, I went into this Makeup Geek blush here. Forget what this one is called. It's called Love Letter. It's like a really pretty like purpley shade, so I just went in with that. And then for my highlight, I went into my Kaleidos Lo-Fi Duo Blusher, and I just went into this highlighter because this highlighter is so stunning, and it's just such a pretty like pinky purple highlight. So I went into the shade Bloom, and it's just so pretty. I would use this blush, but I always feel like this blush like turns out too peachy every time I use it. I don't know why. It's probably just because like I have peach blush on my brush. Peach blush on my brush. I'm rhyming again. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lips, I went into the ColourPop Lip Liner in the shade Oh Snap. And then for my lips, I went into the Laura Mercier lipstick in the shade, I believe this is called, I thought it was called Orchid, but it's called Rose Claire. I just wanted something a little bit brighter today, like a brighter purplish pink. And the shade is so pretty, and I love the formula. So that's everything I used for my makeup. And then as far as a reading update goes, you guys, I've been flying through books. I finished 4 books this week. I finished This Spells Love, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Yellow Face, and Better Than the Movies. I actually finished Better Than the Movies last night at like 10 p.m. I just finished it after work. I only had like 58 pages left. So now I'm kind of over romance right now. I'm not really in the mood for it anymore. I just wanted to read my first Lynn Painter book, so that was my very first Lynn Painter book. But then I just wanted to get right into Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I'm already on page 160. I actually read the first 100 pages last night. And then I read 60 pages today. I'm going to read more hopefully later. But the reason why I'm kind of flying through this, one, it's fantastic. I am having such a good time. I understand why this is such a popular duology. This is amazing. I really hope it becomes a movie because I can already see this being on the big screen. Like, it's that freaking good. But also, this is available on Kindle for free. So I've actually been reading the Kindle version along with the regular book version on and off. Like, I'll read like 30 pages of the Kindle and then I'll go back into the book. But I kind of get through books a little bit faster when I read it on the Kindle. So I'm on chapter 23 already, but I'm flying through this because it's so amazing. So I'm loving it so far. And then obviously as soon as I finish Divine Rivals, I'm just going to go right into Ruthless Vows. And then like I said, those were my reading goals for February, is just to is that I got, like I said, I got through all my TBR, and I actually ended up reading an extra book because I goaled myself to read 5 more books after I finished ACOTAR, but I'm actually going to read 6 because I snuck Lynn Painter in there because she wasn't on my TBR, and then since I wanted to read another romance, and then I was like, I want to move on to fantasy because, like, that's just what I'm feeling right now. I just want fantasy everything. And what's funny is that, like, after I've read Sarah J. Maas for the first month and a half this year, I was like, I'm not going to want to read fantasy for a while. I was like, I need a little break from it. And now I'm like, I already want to get back to fantasy. And I have some really exciting reads that I'm so excited to share with you guys in March. And I'm going to be concentrating on a couple of fantasy trilogies, and I'm so beyond excited for them. So, and then there's so many books that are available on Kindle that I'm just going to be reading as well. I'm probably not going to be picking up a lot of books in March because I picked up quite a few from Target the past couple of days, and also from Amazon I picked up the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, and I cannot wait to read that. That's also a #1 New York Times best-selling series, so I'm super excited. I can't wait. So I'm going to go. Bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. I want to tell you guys about my makeup look for today. So I did work. I just decided to take my makeup off because I wasn't really loving how it was looking when I got home. And I didn't really feel like fixing it. So here we are. So I primed my eyes with the Anastasia eye primer. And then I used the Kajal lip oil. And then I set my eyes with the Urban Decay pressed powder. And then for my eyeshadow palettes today, because I actually only used like 1 shade from this palette, but I went in with the Glaminatrix palettes that I have. But actually I used 2 shades from this palette, never mind. So I think I used like 4 shades from this one. So I went in with Admire in the crease. I ended up doing another pink look, but also I just wanted to use this palette again. And I've actually used it quite a lot since I've gotten it. Like, I only have 1 more shade to use again, and then I will have used, like, every shimmer twice. So that's kind of a lot. And then I darkened up the crease more with Untouched from the Nearly Natural palette. And then I used the shade Naturally on the outer corners. And those are the only 2 shades that I used from this palette. But I love combining the 2 palettes. And then for my lid, I went in with the shade Seductive. And then for my brow bone, I used the shade Intoxicating. And then for the inner corners, I went into Captivating. So just really beautiful, shimmery, sparkly colors. I saw that they just announced a new palette. I haven't actually looked at it yet. Sorry. I'm actually trying to finish a book right now. I'm like almost done with Divine Rivals, and I literally have my Kindle on my lap, but I will update you guys in a minute. But I'm literally going to finish it tonight. I only have like less than 30 pages left, so I'm just going to finish that up like right now. And then I went in with the LA Girl lip liner in the shade white because I just wanted to use that because I love white and pink together. It's just like one of my favorite combos. And then for my mascara, I went into the Lancome Idol mascara on the top lashes and then the Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then I primed my face with the Do It spray and the e.l.f. putty primer. And then for my foundation and concealer, I just went into my Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin foundation in the shade 1C, and then I went into the coinciding Surreal Skin Awakening concealer in the shade 120, and then I set my under eyes with the Pat McGrath Labs powder, and then I set my face with the Dior powder, the Urban Decay powder. And then for my bronzer, I went into the Gucci bronzer in the shade 01, because I just wanted to use it today. And then for my blush, I went into the Artist Couture Love Sprung blush trio, and this is the shade Baby Bloom right here. And then for my highlight, I actually have a couple things to do before I get comfortable, which is like actually really annoying because I'm really just wanting to finish this book right now, but like my back is hurting sitting here. So, and then for my highlight, I went into the Becca highlighter in the shade Rose Quartz. So you definitely cannot get this anymore, but I just really wanted to use it today. And then I set my face with the Milk Makeup Setting Spray, and then I set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow, and then for my lips, I went into the MAC lip liner in the shade Soar, and then for my lipstick, I went into the MAC Patrick Star lipstick in the shade She Better Work. Ever since I found this lipstick again, since it was literally sitting behind my door, behind my freaking paint night photos, I've been wearing it a lot because it's such a beautiful pink shade. And then as far as Divine Rivals goes, I'm finishing it on my Kindle. I'm on page 326 right now, so it's only 353 pages. So I've read like, I think 50 pages already in the past hour, so I'm gonna finish it tonight, and I'm just gonna, it's just so much easier to finish on the Kindle, so, because like, the font is kind of really small in this book, but also, like, I wouldn't want to return this book because I think it's really, really good. And then, obviously, as soon as I finish that, I'm just going to jump right into Ruthless Vows, like, right after that. So, yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know this is the last look of the video, so please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at SVW819 and check out my Poshmark at the same handle. And let me know what your favorite look was. And what are you reading? Of course, I have to ask that. I'm going to do my whole reading wrap-up video soon. Hopefully I will finish Ruthless Vows before February is over. I think I'm going to, if I'm going to finish Divine Rivals tonight. I can't believe how fast I've been reading books. I've like been finishing books in like 2.5 days. So yeah. Also because that's all I'm doing when I get home usually. And when I'm at work, all I do is read on my breaks. So yeah, that's it. Bye.